911, where's your emergency?
There's a car on fire.
Found Slater burned beyond recognition in her car in the area of 1218 Virginia Avenue in Clewiston. But Slater is from Belle Glade, Pahokee in Palm Beach County. Investigators are still working.
In the early hours of September 4, 2019, in Clewiston, Florida, resident Davern Harris noticed thick smoke billowing over his front yard. Upon investigation, he found a car engulfed in flames, but didn't think much of it. However, when emergency services arrived and extinguished the fire, they soon realized this was not a simple car accident, but the gruesome start of a complex murder case that would last for years. After extinguishing the flames, emergency responders discovered a severely burned body that was unidentifiable. As news of the discovery spread, word quickly circulated in the Florida community about the victim's identity. Kennard Wade, the victim's best friend, said that he was sure whom the identity of the victim was as soon as he saw photos of the crime scene in the news.
That man says he last saw his best friend Sunday, and he says he even talked to her the night he thinks she died. You can still see the charred grass from where the car went up in flames. Many people in this community say it was a targeted attack.
To me, it's just very devastating to know that, life happens that way. It's very sad.
An unsettling death for this Hendry County neighborhood.
The car was on fire, but I didn't know there'd be a body inside.
Kennard Wade says his best friend is the one Hendry County Sheriff deputies found dead.
That's her car. I know that. I know her car.
Wade says the two have known each other for 6 years, and that his best friend wasn't afraid of anyone who didn't agree with her.
A really, really sweetheart. And she's never harmed anyone, never put anyone in harm's way.
But he says someone wanted to harm her. And he says in these texts the night of the car fire, she knew it, telling him she wanted to leave town.
How really someone goes to that extreme to, get rid of her?
Beloved was one of the only 2 openly transgender people in the area where she was found, which may be one of the reasons why she wanted to leave town. According to mental health worker Gabrielle Hurst, who lives near the area where B's body was found. She was bound to face hostility, said Gabrielle, who lived in Clewiston for about 10 years. She continued, merely going outside would have put her in danger. You don't go into certain stores. You don't walk certain streets. Claudia Harrison, a spokesperson for the Compass Community Center, the largest LGBTQ organization in Florida, agrees with Gabrielle, and further explained that trans women often bear the brunt of violence, as men, in particular, feel threatened by trans women because they feel it brings their masculinity into question, so they lash out at these women violently. Initially, B remained private about her gender identity with her family, only fully embracing and sharing her true self after completing her transition. Though B was wholeheartedly present for her loved ones, she concealed certain aspects of her identity until she felt ready to openly discuss them. B had become increasingly confident, living within her gender identity, especially after undergoing breast augmentation surgery. She loved Beyoncé, had a dramatic personality, and was known for being generous. Her zest for life was unmatched. Even after working long shifts as a security guard, she would make time for her loved ones, driving her siblings to school, appointments, and anywhere they needed to go. Her relatives affectionately referred to this side of her as helpful B. Friends noticed a boost of confidence in B. She was living as her authentic self, but not everyone was supportive. Just days before her body was discovered, B became the target of a vicious rumor on Twitter. Someone accused her of having sex with middle school students. It was clear to everyone that Beloved would not have done such a thing, but could some have possibly believed it, and if they did, would that have been a motive to end her life? Possibly.
Breaking news at 5, a breakthrough in 2 murder mysteries. Investigators tell NBC2 Jameson Richmond is their prime suspect in the murder of B. Love.
The transgender woman was found dead in a burned-out car in Hendry County. He's also the suspect in the murder of 30-year-old Jamal Hubert, whose body was found in a canal in June. NBC2's Joe Petrello is live outside Richmond's home on South W.C. Owen Avenue in Clewiston.
Well, Peter, right now investigators are currently working on looking at the evidence that they took out of this house here behind me. On multiple occasions, Monday and also today, I've come up to the front door trying to knock and get some answers from the family inside, but so far, they're not talking.
They need justice for Jamal.
Nightmares linger from early June when investigators in Palm Beach County pulled a body from a canal. 30-year-old Clewiston man Jamal Hubert was deemed a victim of murder.
Jamal would do anything for anybody. If you asked him, he just had like a big heart.
He was a good person. He played football. He was a good football player.
No one deserved to die like that.
Then just 3 weeks ago, authorities believe the same killer struck again.
911, what's your emergency?
There's a car on fire.
Inside this burning vehicle, 23-year-old B. Love, a transgender woman previously known as Love Slater.
It's still a little soon to tell, but it's looking like it's going to be a hate crime.
Detectives tracked down a Facebook post that said, "Somebody need to kill B. Love." It led them to this Clewiston house, the home where deputies say the killer, Jamison Richmond, lives.
We're working on this diligently, and we're going to solve the case. We're going to find the killer, and we're not going to stop till we do, no matter how long it takes.
I just pray they do their job and justice is served for both B. Love and Jamal.
Now that they had a suspect in custody, the police, the community, as well as B. Love's friends and family could all breathe a sigh of relief. Or could they? A month after their suspect Jamison Richmond had been arrested, the Hendry County Sheriff's Office came back and stated that Jamison had only been considered a person of interest, not a suspect. According to them, after Jamison's arrest, they continued speaking with people and had since developed additional information supporting the theory that Jamison was not involved in the death of B. Love. This caused outrage in the community, prompting police to set up a press conference with B. Love's family.
Somebody has to know something, and regardless if someone was there or not, someone knows something. A very kind-hearted human, like all of us should be anyway. And it shouldn't have happened, not that way. Not that way.
That's how the family of Love Slater described her in a press conference this morning.
Today, detectives have interviewed several hundred people, written and executed over 40 search warrants. Today, this homicide investigation is still very much active and continues to be investigated.
Sheriff Whitten says Hendry County continues to work closely with the FBI to solve this case, but FBI agent Davis Christie says this case is now being looked at as a possible hate crime.
Hate crimes are the highest priority of the FBI's civil rights program, and we're working in partnership with Hendry County in order to solve this case. The murder of B. Love Slater 1 year ago demands our investigative rigor and commitment, and we're here to provide that commitment to the community of Hendry County and to the family.
Lametris Jackson, Slater's best friend, spoke on behalf of the family today. Jackson tells us this past year has been unlike any other.
It has been traumatic, especially for her. He wasn't, or she wasn't just her son or her daughter. They were best friends. B. Love was best friends with everybody because everybody loved her. So it's been traumatic.
Jackson says Slater's mother and loved ones all want the same thing: answers.
Just the truth and some justice is all we're asking for. We're not asking for an improper arrest, but something, anything at this point will do. I got her up until that time happens.
Fast forward to 2021.
Hundreds of interviews, dozens of search warrants, and more than 2 years later, Hendry County investigators make an arrest in the brutal killing of B. Love, a transgender woman found dead inside a burning car.
Investigators say this man, Marcus Thompson, is now charged with homicide and arson after the fact. NBC2's Ashley Graham is live outside the Hendry County Jail. Ashley, do investigators believe this is a hate crime?
Well, at this point, they won't say. It's still an active investigation, and so they're trying to keep certain details close to the breast at this point, but they are still actively looking for all of the suspects in this case. We do know that the family was here today. We were with them today as they were listening to the sheriff give us the update on this investigation, and they say for now, this is a step in the right direction.
But I can tell you that we are steadfast in locking those up who are responsible or had anything to do with this crime.
More than 2 years after B. Love's murder, investigators have not stopped working to find everyone responsible.
To date, detectives have interviewed several hundred people and written and executed 56 search warrants.
Bee's mom, siblings, and other family members packed the conference room at the sheriff's office today as he announced Marcus Thompson's arrest. They wore Bee's picture over their hearts and a message of thanks to the Hendry County investigators.
Just footwork evidence, and again, I can't say right now, but just good old-fashioned police work.
County and federal officials teamed up to find suspects in Bee's death. She was found in a car so badly burned, investigators had to use dental records to identify her. Sheriff Steve Whitten says this is a happy day for Bee's family, but the case is still not closed.
As far as the community goes, just know that we're on top of it, and we're not going to stop till everyone involved, if anyone, is behind bars.
The investigation is ongoing as police try to establish a motive, in addition to trying to see if anyone else is involved.
People say B-Love is remembered for her smile and always being the life of the party. But sadly, that life was cut short. So tonight, people shared their memories, their pictures, and wore pink in her honor. Singing with heavy hearts.
All of my bad days.
Friends remember B-Love.
I won't complain. Yes, God.
For her contagious smile.
She always had a smile on her face every time you saw her.
She was just the life of the party.
Tonight, dozens of people gathered at Fremd Village.
When one hurt, we all hurt.
In Pahokee.
God, we ask you to put your hands on her right now.
Holding a candlelight vigil and prayer in her honor.
I can't believe it. I'm still in a state of shock.
Stop the hate. Stop the... I mean, she was, at the end of the day, she was still a person.
But most importantly, to be love.
I'm here, and I'm going to speak, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do. You know, her name's going to live on. Be loved.
Rest in peace, Be Love.